Hey everybody, this is Fran Fraschilla, draft expert and basketball junkie. To everybody who's watching, let's get our friends at General Manager Games the subscribers they deserve. Just press that red subscriber button and immerse yourself in sports AI through GM Games content. And on Twitter, it's GM_games. Let's get after it. Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 22 with the Colorado Rockies here on GM Games. This is Aaron. So we are at August 1st. We just made it through the trade deadline, and it is time to see what this new look Rockies team can do. We moved on from German Marquez. We moved on from CJ Cron. And they made a couple of other minor deals as well, but offensively now we're gonna revolve around that 2-3-4-5 in our lineup: Rogers, Story, Naylor, Welker, and see how that performs. While also hoping that some of the young players we picked up, some of the young pitchers we picked up, can show some improvements down the road here. King and Schmidt specifically looking to improve those records and ERAs. So I think we're just going to go through the month of August in this episode. We'll take a look at, once we get to the end of August, we'll take a look at at the league stats and kind of look at where things stand across the league. So this will be probably a relatively quick episode, but I wanted the next episode to be a long one. I wanted that one to be the final month of the season as well as the off season. So in order to make that one a little bit longer, this one's got to be a little bit shorter. So that's just sort of the way it is. So let's move on. First game of the month, we win 3-2. 2 runs in the ninth. A home run by Hampson. Yep, Hampson with a 2-run home run off of Drew Pomeranz to give us the win. Kyle Freeland pitched well. McKinstry got the start out in the left. Cool. So there's our first win of the month. We're off on Monday. Then we take, we have a 6-game homestand. Oops. Shut that off. Sorry. 6-game homestand against the Cubs and the Marlins. Let's see how game 1 against the Cubbies goes. Well, that's a tough one. 16-5 loss. 9-3 loss. There we go. A 5-3 win. 3 runs in the 8th. So another late inning comeback. No late inning heroics by any one person, it looks like. Naylor is continuing to struggle with the bat, hitting only .206 with us this season. Senzatella pitched okay. Sheffield picked up the save. Okay. This year wasn't about winning, though. As we win our second in a row, 14-7. We'll take a look at that box score once the series is over. So 3-3 that week. We lose 2 out of 3 to the Cubs. We lose 2 out of 3 to Miami. But we went 3-3 in the week. In that 14-7 game. Anything interesting? Naylor went 0 for 5. The team scored 14 runs at 18 hits. Naylor had none of them. Story with a good game. Tapia with a good game. King picks up the win even though he gave up 5 in 8. So, all right. Well, where are we? 38-74, worst record in baseball. What am I doing? Going to the schedule. All right, so now we go to Houston, 4-3, and we'll take a look at the team stats once we get through this week. 4-0 loss to the Astros. 2-1 loss to the Astros. It's 4 losses in a row for us. Make it 5 in a row. And we finally win on Friday the 13th, a 4-2 win over the Giants. Yoenis Cespedes is he's hurt again. Good, I can just put him back on the DL. Schedule. Let's play Sunday's game against the Giants, then we'll pause and we'll take a look at our stats and see what, if anything, is going well. Bit better pitching this week, with the exception of that one game on Thursday, and we lose there. So that was a rough week. 1-6 that week. We are now 39-79. Worst record in the big leagues. Let's take a look at how things are going. Offensively, we're middle of the pack, seventh in runs scored, fifth in batting average, sixth in home runs. Pitching, obviously, is our problem. We're dead last in just about everything. Clark Schmidt's now 1-14. I can't allow him to reach 20 losses, so we're going to send him down, and we're going to call up Josh Green, and we're going to put Josh Green in the starting rotation, and we'll call Schmidt back up at roster expansion. I don't want him to lose 20. I feel bad for him if he lost 20. So pitching, again, I sound like a broken record, but Kyle Freeland's he's got a 1 WAR, 345 BABIP, 1.65 WHIP. He hasn't been good at all, but he's been the best pitcher we have. It's just, this is going to be hard. This rebuild is going to be a challenge. We're going to have to just find a couple of pitchers that sort of, strike gold in their years, and hopefully we can push one across. I don't even know what to look at. It's just terrible across the board. Solis has been okay. 3.52 ERA for us in 14 games. That's been fine. But otherwise, it's just been awful. Lineups. We're getting some good performances offensively. Trevor Story continues again to hit really well. He's put up a 4 WAR season, on pace for 34 and 107. A ton of strikeouts. 5.4 WAR. What does he want as an extension now? Yeah, it's hanging right around that number. So we'll see what it looks like at the end of the season. Brendan Rodgers having a nice first full season in the big leagues. 17 home runs, 50 RBIs. Playing some good defense. Raimel Tapia doing a nice job at the top of the lineup. 361 on base percentage. I will take it. Elias Diaz continues to hit well, even though he won't be with the team next year. Naylor is at 204 with us. 239 overall. That I'm hoping will come around here sooner rather than later. That contact at a 95 suggests that it will, but we'll just sort of have to wait and see. Ryan Velade is 13 for his first 34, so he's hitting really well here early on. Colton Welker, 6 home runs, 28 RBIs, 773 OPS. That OPS plus of 86 is not very good, and then from there it's just been pretty bad. McKinstry's only hitting a $195 with us, and then the rest of our batters are just bad. Nunez, Hampson, and Owings are all just really, really bad, especially Chris Owings, that minus 1.2 WAR on the season. Not good. Not good at all, but again, we still have a ton. Again, this isn't about this season. I think we're going to lose some of this money once we hit the off season because of this here. So I don't think we'll have this amount of money, although it may be wise for us to spend some of it now since we're going to lose some of it, because there are, if we look at, it's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go here. From an offensive perspective, there's not a lot. It's pretty hot at the top with Lindor. He's probably going to want $35-40 million. But there's not a ton here offensively that really, makes my hair stand on end, so to speak. Lindor is really the only bat that I would, outside of Story. Maybe we bring Story. There are a couple of shortstop options. If not Lindor, we can go after Javi Baez, who's better defensively than Story is. So we'll see. We could just go after an all-glove guy like Iglesias, which might not be a bad idea, or Andrelton Simmons, which might not be a bad idea based on what we're trying to do with kind of ground ballers and good defense. Pitching, there are some decent names in here. Syndergaard, and again, we're looking for the ground ball style. So Syndergaard is a ground ball pitcher. Charlie Morton, up there in age, but he's a ground ball pitcher. Marcus Stroman. So there are some options from a pitching perspective. Alex Claudio feels like a really good feels like a natural Rocky just based off of his ratings and the fact that he's an extreme ground ball pitcher. So there are some options, but not a ton. I mean, there's not a lot here that's really. I mean, there's some. The pitching market's definitely going to be better than the hitting market, which is good for us. So yeah, let's continue. Let's move forward. See, it's not really about this first season. I mean, we knew this was going to be a bad year as we went 11-4. Let's just take a quick look at that box score. Brendan Rodgers with a good game, 3 for 5. Trevor Story with a good game. Senzatella picks up the win. Pretty good relief pitching. Cool. Yeah, it's not about this season. You know, we were never planning on being competitive this year. We lose there. Austin Gomber is day-to-day with a blister. That's fine. We did sign all of our draft picks, right? Yeah, everyone except for Hollinsworth. You know, even in real life, the Rockies aren't. You know, they're not making any. Let's send them to a rehab assignment. Even the real life Rockies aren't planning on winning it all this year. So, you know, let's get through this season and let's start to improve the club next year, right? I mean, that's really what we're looking to do. So, 3 losses in a row. Another loss. There we go. 7-2 win. 2 for 4 for Story. Naylor continues to not hit. Rodgers is up to almost 300. 3 RBIs for Velades, up to 388. Senzatella with another good game. Again, you know, he hasn't pitched terrible. I mean, he hasn't been good, but this is the type of pitcher we're going to be looking for with the extreme ground ball, good control, good movement. So he's not going to give up a ton of home runs. You know, if we can improve the defense, you know, that might be something that that leads us to a successful season. So lose to the Cubbies. We win 5-3. Okay, so we've won 3 out of 4 here. That's not bad. Anything interesting happen here? Brendan Rodgers continues to rake. He's up over 300 now. King with a nice ball game. 5 innings of 1-run baseball. What about in this one? Tapia is up to 320 now. Colton Welker hits his 9th home run of the year. And a nice start for Rollison, who is, a nice start, relatively speaking. 3 runs in 5 1/3 innings isn't great, but it's, I'll take it, I guess. So we have won 3 out of 4, and we go to L.A. to take on the Dodgers now. 10-1 loss. Oof, back-to-back 10-1 losses. All right, we win 4-3. Runs in the 7th and 8th to help us beat the Dodgers. And Naylor continues to struggle. That average down to $1.95. Josh Green picks up his first win of the season. You can see 3 starts so far, 5 1/3, and 6. He's given up 3 runs, and 2 runs. Cool. So that works. Jordan Sheffield strikes out the side to pick up his 15th save. Let's get through the month here. We'll take a look at teams and 3-0 win. So Trevor Story wants us to start a charity. I can do that. Who pitched in this one? Rollison, 6 shutout innings. Let's go. Josh Naylor finally hits a home run. There we go. And let's play the final game of August. And how long? I mean, I've only been going for 15 minutes, so I think maybe we just keep going. Why not, right? All right, so Senzatella got it better. Rollison got better. King got a little better. Josh Green, his stuff dropped. His control dropped a little bit. Chichi Gonzalez got better, even though he's terrible. Kyle Freeland got better. He's been awful. I mean, everyone's been awful. Colton Welker, 259, 795 OPS so far. Brendan Rodgers right at 300. Ryan Velade, 368, 390, 632. And his ratings are improving too. So I need him to be better defensively. Just because of the strategy we're looking to implement here. We need elite defensive players all over the infield. Really all over the outfield too, but ideally all over the infield. So Naylor got better. Still not hitting, but his ratings got better. Clark Schmidt having just as difficult time down in AAA as he did in the majors. We'll call him back up when we do roster expansion here in a second. Let's look at... So Freddie Freeman won the batter of the month. Mike Soroka, pitcher of the month. And Edward Cabrera won the rookie of the month. So let's... who do we want to call up? We can call up 2 players. So one of them was going to be Schmidt. I'm just going to put him in the bullpen. The other one, I think we're going to call up Ali Sanchez. And we're going to give him... is it going to put him in as the backup? It is, yeah. Okay, so we're going to put Ali Sanchez in as the backup for Elias Diaz. Give Ali some chances here. And I talked about this in the last episode. I pick up Sanchez in just about every series I play. He's a cheap option, really, really good defensively. It's still relatively young. And then pitching, we will throw Schmidt in as a long relief emergency starting pitcher. See if he can get some of that confidence back as a bullpen piece. Pitching, it just continues to be bad. Michael King hasn't been awful. He's got a 4.69 ERA with us in 22. Is that over the course of the year? Yeah, over the course of the season, he's got a 5.01 ERA with us. Only 29 walks against 101 strikeouts, 3.5 K to walk ratio. His ERA plus is an even 100. And if we can get a bunch of average pitchers in Coors Field, I will take it. Michael Givens has been okay, but, he's 31, so he's not long-term. Austin Gomber, 0.8. Kyle Freeland, 0.8. Kyle Freeland's been bad, man. I wish I could have moved him at the deadline. Solis, since coming to us, put an ERA up of 6. Talked about Josh Green in his first 3 starts. Look at these ERAs. I don't know how you do it. That's just so bad. All right, well, we'll sort through it, and we will get it figured out. Batting WAR, sorted by WAR. Trevor Story is at 30 and 90. Does he still want the same contract he's looking at? Brendan Rodgers, Raimiel Tapia, those three guys are all hitting the ball pretty well. Velade, we talked about him. He's put up a 1021 OPS. Colton Welker, bats coming along slowly. He's showing some power, but 9 home runs, 20 doubles in 216 at bats, so that's not terrible. Naylor's still not hitting, and we talked about that over and over and over again. McKinstry, I think, is getting some playing time he's played second, third, left, and right for us so far, so doing exactly what we want him to do. Jimmy Herron came in. He's not really hitting, not really fielding, not really doing a whole lot of anything. And then Nunez, Hampson, and Owings continue to be just bad. Let's look at the standings. Luis Arraez leads the AL in batting. Alex Verdugo and Xander Bogaerts are 2 and 3. The Red Sox sit in first place in the East. Home runs, Kyle Tucker, 35. Jose Abreu and Yordan Alvarez with 33. Luke Voit, 109 RBIs already in 133 games. Rafael Devers, 101 RBIs. Abreu with the White Sox, 93. Adalberto Mondesi, 40 stolen bases. Buxton and Lewis Robert with 26. Verdugo leads the American League with an 1,009 OPS. 7.3 WAR already for Verdugo. 355, 410, 599. Making fans forget about Mookie Betts, Alex Verdugo. On the pitching side, Shane Bieber, Lucas Giolito, and Yusei Kikuchi, top 3 in ERA. Bieber, Weaver, and Giolito, top 3 in wins. And Giolito, Bieber, and Glasnow, top 3 in strikeouts. An interesting Cy Young race here between Bieber and Giolito. Bieber leads in ERA and wins. Giolito leads in strikeouts. He's 3rd in wins. He's 2nd in ERA. Bieber's 2nd. I think it's going to go to Bieber. He's 18 and 2. Shane Bieber, 18 and 2. 5.4 WAR. Taylor Rogers with Minnesota, 37 saves. In the National League, Starlin Castro leads the National League in batting with a .329 average. Trey Turner and Didi Gregorius. C.J. Cron leads the National League in home runs with 38. You can see 257, 342, 486 with the Dodgers. Yelich and Rice Hoskins with second, third. Cron still leads the National League in RBIs as well. Ronald Acuna with a 1055 OPS. Lindor leads the National League in WAR. Lindor would be such a good ad for us, and we'll have the money to do it. So it'll be interesting to see do we go from saving money on Arenado to picking up the contract in Lindor? I don't know. We'll see. Alex Wood, Blake Snell, Sandy Alcantara, top 3 in ERA. Adrian Hauser with 15 wins for Milwaukee. Walker Buehler leads in strikeouts and WAR, and Edwin Diaz leads in saves. Let's take a look at the Cardinals because I want to see how Arenado's doing. 226 on the year for Nolan Arenado. Not very good. 2.5 WAR. Most of that's probably coming from his defense. So not good, not great. The Milwaukee Brewers, 17.5 games up in the Central. Either the Central's really bad or the Brewers are just that good. They've got a really good bullpen. Our lineup is Miguel Franco out of nowhere, 262, 23 home runs for the Brew Crew this season. How long have we been going for? 21 minutes. Let's just keep going, I guess. I mean, why not, right? We'll just go through the end of the season, at least through the end of this month, and maybe we'll do the last couple of days of October in the next episode. But I want to keep going. I want to get this season over with. It's just been bad. We lose 10-2. I don't want any of these jobs at all. I'm good. Thank you. We went 11-4. Big win. Big win. Trevor Story, Colton Welker, 5 RBIs. Very nice. Senzatella with another win. A 13-4 loss. 14-8. A lot of offense in these last couple of games. Naylor picked up a couple of hits. Vlade and Heron each had 3 RBIs. McKinstry and Sanchez each with 3 hits. Rollison picks up the win, giving up 5 in 5. Cool. Another win. Small victories as we take on Atlanta again. Daniel Bard is eligible to come off the DL. Let's rehab assignment for Mr. Bard. And I think it's time to say goodbye to Mr. Yoenis Cespedes. That did not work out. How's Jack Leiter doing? 10 starts, 51 innings, .8 WAR, 54 strikeouts, 20 walks. We'll leave him in high A for the rest of the season. Bring him up to double A next year. Let's see how that goes. 11-10 win. We were down 9-0, and we ended up coming back to win 11-10. Freeland got lit up. Good bullpen work, though. Brendan Rodgers with a home run, 4 RBIs. Tapia with 3 RBIs. McKinstry went 3 for 4. Naylor's got that average up to 207 for us. Keep going here. See if we can win 2 in a row. We can. Sam Hilliard, we're going to put him on a rehab assignment as well. And that's a 4-1 win. I like games where we don't give up a lot of runs, especially at home. Senzatella again. 6 shutout innings for Senzatella. Rodgers with another home run. Naylor with 2 hits. There we go. It's called a winning streak. And then we lose that one. Owings is hurt. It's fine. Let's just do this. Where did he go? Right there. All right. Let's get back to the schedule. At the Phillies for 4, a 9-1 victory. McKinstry with a pinch hit 2-run home run. Diaz homered. Fuentes homered. Naylor hit his 9th. Rollison with 6 2/3 shutout ball. Starting to see some decent pitching performances. 6-5 loss. 5-3 win. Okay, so we went 4-4. Well, what's 1, 2? That's 6-5 in our last 11. It's something. It's definitely something. Take a quick look at just kind of the overview here. Naylor is at 222 now. That average starting to creep up a bit. Welker at 268. Got that OPS up over 800. Velade coming back to earth just a little, but that's okay. Some really, really bad ERAs still, but Rollison has had a couple of decent games. Senzatella's had a couple of decent games. Zach Veen is, and I'm bouncing all over the place. I just saw his name. He's doing, I think it's time to move Zach. Well, he's 19. He'll be in AA next season. That's a good pace for him. Drew Romo's 20 in A-ball. He's starting to hit, so that's good. Probably move him up to high A-ball next year. Clark Schmidt is just not been good. So, middle of the road offense and a bad pitching staff leads to a 51-93 mark. Although we have gotten better. If we look at our info, 6-6 this month. So it's some, you can see we've gotten better. I mean, we were 6-20 in April, 13-15 in May, and then 3 really bad months in a row, but we've been better here in September. Let's keep going. Taking on the Braves for 3 6-game road trip, or the conclusion of a 6-game road trip. It's the conclusion of a 10-game road trip, I guess. 6-0 loss. 2-0 loss. We get swept by the Braves. That's no good. There we go. 5-2 win over Washington. Chris Owings is, I don't care if he's eligible. He's just bad, and I don't want him on my roster anymore. Can we take 2 out of 3 from Washington? We cannot. Let's just go back and look at the one win we had. Naylor with 2 hits. Rogers with 3. Freeland pitched a good game, and Sheffield picks up his 20th save. So Jordan Sheffield doing all right. Walking a ton of batters, but striking out more than a batter an inning. I guess he's not doing all right as WAR. His ERA plus is 98, so he's almost league average. That WAR is really, really bad, so... we're not doing well, but didn't expect to. So let's finish up the month. We'll recap where we are, and then we'll call it an episode. Dodgers, 5-4 loss in 11. There we go, 6-5. Gomber is out for 6 weeks. It's perfect timing. We can bring Daniel Bard back in, and we'll make him a stopper. Let's see how Daniel does as a stopper. My guess would be not very good, but we'll see. Velade, 2 for 3. Top Tapia with another 2 hits. King went the first 5. Sheffield pitched a perfect 9th. Lost to the Dodgers. 3 at home against the Giants. Oof. 53-103 are the Colorado Rockies. 53-104. There we go. Daniel Bard gets hurt again. Okay. I guess it doesn't really matter. There's like 5 games left in the season. So let's call up Antonio Santos. Let's look at our small victories here as we take a 4-0 lead and are able to hold on. Naylor's got his average up to 235 for us, so it's coming along. Freeland had a double in the win. Pitched 6 2/3 innings of 2-run ball. And I'm going to save real quick. I just don't want this to crash. I had a problem with the game crashing on me a little bit. It crashed in one of my other playthroughs yesterday, and this one crashed last episode, so I don't want that to happen again. All right, so let's move on, and let's finish off this season. As we lose there, we got 3 games against Arizona to finish off the season. We'll recap everything. In the next episode, we will do the playoffs and the offseason. And we finished the season 54 and 108. Miguel Cabrera hit his 500th career home run. Good for Miggy. Anything else interesting happen in here? Lots of injuries. 34-game hitting streak for Bo Bichette. 37-game hitting streak. 38 for Bichette. 39 for Bichette. Wow. 43. 45. Bo Bichette hit in 45 straight games? Yeah, 45 straight games for Bo Bichette as a 23-year-old. That's crazy. Andrew Benintendi wins the AL Batter of the Month. Juan Soto, NL AL Pitcher of the Month. Chris Archer, Syndergaard, wins the NL Pitcher of the Month. Brendan McKay, Rookie of the Month in the AL. And in the NL, Hae-Sung Kim for the Padres. Yeah, so I assume we ended up with the worst record in baseball. Oh, by just one game. So the Tigers finished 55 and 107. We finished 54 and 108. So, yeah, bad end of the season for us. Well, I mean, a bad season in general for us. The Padres win the NL West 99 and 63, 3 games over the Dodgers. Good for them. Brewers win the Central by 20. The Mets win the East with the Braves bringing home the wild card, along with the Dodgers out in the East. The Yankees win the AL East. Blue Jays and Red Sox look like they're going to be battling along with the Indians. 3 teams tied at 87 and 75. Twins and White Sox both make the postseason. Twins, I'm not sure. Going to be a lot of one-off games here. You got a game to determine who wins the AL Central, and then you have a 3-way tie for the second wild card position. Astros win the West easily. Verdugo finished with an 8.2 WAR, 346, 406, 576. Out in the National League, Juan Soto, 42 home runs, 445 on base percentage, 614 slugging. Acuna, 302, 413, 581. Let's take a look at our final team stats, and we'll call it an episode. And if there's anything you guys want me to look at, if there are any players, any teams you want me to dive into a little bit, I certainly can. This obviously is a Rockies playthrough, but I am happy to look at whatever it is you want me to look at. We'll also take a quick look at our prospects, see how they did, and that will be the end of the episode. So let's just start with pitching because, it was bad. Michael King ended up okay, 4.48 FIP, 4-14, 5.08 ERA. Kept the ball down, almost 4 Ks to every walk, so that's exactly what we want out of a starter here in Coors. Ground ball pitcher with good control, keep that ball down. 1.2 home runs. I mean, if you can keep it under 1.5, I'll take that. Freeland was awful, even though he had a 1.1 WAR. He had a 6.75 ERA. Walked way too many batters. Givens, Dolis, mid-30s relievers who have no future with our team. Senzatella pitched much, much better down the stretch. His April and his June were god-awful, but July, August, and September, he pitched to about a 4 ERA, maybe a little bit higher than that, but still not bad at all. Diaz, Santos, and then we get into the players that were negative. Estevez, Schmidt, Sheffield had 22 saves, 4.50 ERA, struck out 11, walked 8 per 9. That's just not going to get it done. RJ Alvarez had an ERA of 9 in 20 innings after we picked him up from the Cubs, so that didn't work. Josh Green had a 7.78 ERA, 1-5. That didn't work. Ryan Rollison had a 6.65 ERA. He was bad. And Chichi Gonzalez finished with a negative .9 WAR. 117 hits in 95 innings. Walked 6 per 9. It was just bad. That was just bad. Let's look at the lineups where we at least had some success. Trevor Story, 36 home runs, 111 RBIs. What does he want to come back? That number's gone up. So I think Trevor Story's days in Colorado are done. I think we'll let him walk. We'll get that compensatory pick, and we'll look to replace him with either a splash with someone like Lindor or go a little cheaper and go strictly defense with someone like Iglesias or Andrelton Simmons. I have a soft spot for Jose Iglesias, being a Red Sox fan. Brendan Rodgers put in a really nice rookie season. 101 runs scored, 841 OPS, 4.3 WAR. Be nice to have Rodgers next to a really, really solid defensive shortstop. Have a nice keystone combination, if you will. Raimel Tapia put in a really nice season, 306, 348, 446, 387 BABIP, but 35 doubles, 10 triples, 10 home runs. I will take it. Josh Naylor came on towards the end of the season, ended up hitting 242 for us. His batting splits, if you look at September, he hit 330 in September and was 6 for 12 in October. So he came along towards the end of the season. Good things to come for the 24-year-old. Elias Diaz hit 320. Colton Welker, a lot of extra base hits. So that's, 41 extra base hits in 96 games. So like to see that. Ryan Velade hitting even 300, 873 OPS. A lot of extra base hits there as well in limited playing time. 14 extra base hits and 110 at bats. McKinstry did pretty well after coming over from the Dodgers. Played multiple positions. I like the flexibility. Hilliard was hurt for most of the year. Ali Sanchez hit the ball really well after we picked him up. He'll be our starting catcher next season. And then Herron, Nunez, and Hampson were all bad. Prospect pipeline for Colorado. We talked about Schmidt. Ended up 1-14 with a 7.14 ERA for us. He was 1-15 overall between the Yankees and us. Hopefully he can bounce back next year. Drew Romo ended up 255, 369, 375. Not a lot of power, but good eye, good defensively, and that's what we're getting out of him. I like that. Zach Veen ended up hitting 309, 441, 620. So let's immediately move him to, immediately move him to Double A, and I forgot to do this, disable AI promotion. So he'll start next year in Double A. Sam Weatherly is a 22-year-old who's hurt, and didn't pitch particularly well, but has some skill. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe he has some skill. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's just lefty, so he gets the opportunities. Rollison, we talked about. Velade, we talked about. McKinstry, we talked about. Riley Adams, who we also picked up at the trade deadline. Didn't hit particularly well. I guess in Albuquerque he did okay. 273, 351, 394. He'll be the backup catcher next year. And that's, I guess, Helcris Olivares, a 21-year-old in where is he right now? High A ball, 5-10. And then the last prospect in the top 500 for us right now is Jameson Hannah, 24-year-old center fielder. And if we look at our draft history this year, Jack Leiter finished 5-3, 5.04 ERA. Let's immediately move him up to Double A as well, so I don't forget. 70 strikeouts in 64 innings. Hopefully he can continue to develop. We need an elite starter. Luke Lito didn't pitch at all. Interesting. 260, 379, 438 as a batter. Do I not have him set as a two-way player? No, I haven't set as a two-way player. They just didn't pitch him at all. He'll likely start in rookie ball next year as well. Will Shira. We drafted him and made him a hitter. He didn't really do much of that, but he only had 52 plate appearances, so we'll let him continue to develop in AAA or in rookie ball. Elijah Hamill. It wasn't a very good draft class this year. Couldn't really hit. Hopefully his glove develops and he can turn into a decent backup middle infielder. Cole Wagner was another pitcher that we turned into a hitter. He got into 2 games as a pitcher. Hit a $179 as a batter. So Not a great draft. We need Leiter and Lido to really step it up, and especially Jack Leiter. If he's able to come through out of this draft class, I'll consider it a win. Do we have? Let's look at next year's draft class. So we have the top pick in the draft, and it's looks like a batter heavy draft in this one, and I think if we end up with the top pick right now, Tamar Johnson's probably that guy. But there are some other good players as well. Drew Jones is a really good defensive center fielder with some pop. So I picked Elijah Green up in my Tigers playthrough, but he's a lot better in my Tigers playthrough. So I wonder if this is just a scouting thing, and my scout's just bad. My scout's not terrible, is he? No, he's actually really good. So it'll be interesting to see. So next episode will be a little bit longer because we're going to go through the entire offseason. We have some decisions to make with Trevor Story. We definitely have some. So Story will likely end up having to move on from him. If he wants $40 million, I'm not going to pay him that. We will decline the option on Desmond, obviously. We'll look to move Freeland to get that money off the books. Senzatella we might bring back. Just he's not super expensive. Bard will probably decline the option there. McMahon will decline the option. Tapia, we will sign him. Dolis will keep him. Estevez, I don't know. Diaz will either trade him or non-tender him. I'm not paying him $4.5. Yeah, that's about it. So we're probably going to be down around $50 million by the time we get to free agency. So plenty of money to spend. How we will spend it, you'll have to wait and see. So I appreciate you guys watching. Leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. Who you think I should go after? Do I go big after Syndergaard and Lindor and try to make one big splash, or do I take it easy and do I try to piece it together and stick to the plan as they were with those defensive stalwarts and ground ball type pitchers. So let me know, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.